So today I want to show you guys how to wire your own low voltage landscape lighting system. It's the biggest concern people have when they want to install their own landscape lighting system is how do I go and wire it and can I do it? So I'm going to show you guys in this video some real life field examples of how I go and do that, some of the different connectors that we use to create that good long lasting waterproof connection that's going to last the lifetime of your fixtures, as well as I'm going to show you guys some examples in a diagram of how that should look and how to go and run your lights. So as always, if you guys have more questions about how to install your own low voltage landscape lighting system, go to YouTube, search Lighting Doctor and whatever your landscape lighting question is, and you're guaranteed to find a video that's going to answer some of those questions. And if not, leave us a comment below this video and we'll answer those, or send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca. And if you need a little bit more help with your project, be sure to watch the end of this video to learn how to get your own low voltage landscape lighting consultation. We're actually going to walk you through some different design concepts so that you can get the most bang for your buck out of your landscape lighting design. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope to hear from you, and go check out more of our videos on YouTube. So now we're just going to connect our wire. What we use here is we use a special kind of outdoor waterproof connector. They're gel filled, as well as they have a really good mechanical seal, and all that means is it's going to help keep the wire from pulling apart. So it really provides a long lifetime connection. So really easy to use. You got 3 ports on the bottom. One wire, your fixture wire goes in one. Your wire, one part of your wire goes out that way, and then from your other one goes in the other port, and these just snap tight. It creates that connection, and then you do the same thing for the other wires. So you got your wire coming in, your wire going out, and then your fixture wire. And that just snaps tight, and that's how you wire your lighting fixture. So guys, I wanted to give you a little more context when you're wiring the lights, because I always get this question as how to wire the lights, and at the end of this I'll show you the video where I kind of walk you through it, but some people just need a diagram, so that's why we did this video. So I'm going to show you how to wire your lights and what it should look like. So first off, when I talk about the 12-2 cable, it comes together like this, and you split it at the fixtures. So if you look at my diagram here, when you have these 2 wires coming, it's actually just the 1 wire, but it's already kind of split in 2. So how you go about wiring your lights now. So say you've got your lights that come from your transformer. As you split that 12-2, there's 2 taps or 2 ports in your transformer that each one of those ends goes into of that 12-2 cable. And then you run it out to your existing fixture. Now, what's going to happen is one of those wires from the 12-2 is going to go into your BVS2 snap lock connectors, and then there's another port where another one is going to come out and go to that's going to go out to the next fixture, wherever that might be, and then you have a smaller port in there that is going to have your wire from your fixture going into it. So in essence, you're going to have 3 wires going into each one of these, and at each light you're going to have 2 of those, because you've got 1 wire going in, you've got 1 wire going out, and then you have your fixture wire coming in, and then you have your other wire that's going to come into your other connector, and it's going to go out to your next fixture, and then you're also going to have your wire from your fixture going into your connector. So at every single light you're going to have 2 of these connections, whether that be the last light or the first light. And I'll show you a close-up of this in a second, but I just wanted to give you the general idea of that first. Another question I get asked all the time is what if I need to split into my 12-2 cable and run some wire out to another light that's off in the distance? Well, you can do that. The only thing is you're probably going to use a different connection. We often use a DBRY connection. The reason being is that the BVS2 connectors, which I'll show you a little closer up, have 2 larger ports and 1 small port. So you're not going to get 3 12-gauge wires in that, so that's why we use these guys. Plus these are very, very solid waterproof connections. So how that looks now is you still have your 12-2 cable that's going out, and one of those wires is going to go into your connector, and then one of the wire, you're going to have a wire that's going to go out to wherever your next fixture is, and then you're also going to tee in and you're going to have that wire going to wherever you need it to. And then same thing, that other wire on that 12-2 strand is going to come in, it's going to go out, and it's going to go out to your other fixture. So that's how you tee into a line, and I get asked all the time, and yes, absolutely, you can do that. The other question I get asked all the time is, what about the last fixture? How do I go and wire that with these connections? Well, you still have the same 3 ports, which again, I'll show you a close-up in a sec here, but just to give you an idea, so wherever your last fixture is, you're going to have that 12-2 wire is still going to keep coming out, and then of those 2 wires in that 12-2, one is going to go into the BVS2 connector, and then the fixture wire is still going to go into the smaller port on that BVS2 connector, and you're going to do that with the other 12 portion of the 12-2 wire is going to go into your connector, and then your fixture from your light is going to go in. So in essence, the last fixture on the run is only going to have 2 wires going into it, as opposed to these ones that actually have 3 wires, like we talked about, right? In, out, and fixture, in, out, and fixture. So you have 3 connections here, or 3 wires going into these connections, whereas on your last fixture, you only have 2. And what that looks like a little closer up is like this. So if you can see here, we got 3 ports on our BVS2 connectors. Again, I like these because they're gel filled. These yellow things, they open up so that you can slide the wire in, and then they snap down on the wire to keep it nice and tight. But if you see here, we've got our 12-2 cable coming in. We're going to split that, and one of those 12-2s is going to go into there, and then it's going to also come out and go to our next fixture, and then we've got our wire from our fixture going into the smaller port. And then with the other part of the cable from the 12-2, it's going to go into the other connector, it's going to go out to the other fixtures, and then you're going to have the fixture wire is going to go into that smaller port. So just a close-up of how that wiring connection should look. And then on your last fixture, it's going to look like this. You're going to have, so this is going to keep going, and you're going to have your 12-2 cables still coming to this last fixture, but here now, instead of the 3 connections, we only need, the 3 wires going in, we're only going to have 2 because it's our last light on that run. So the 12-2 cable goes into the connection, and then in the smaller port, we got our fixture wire, right? And then same thing, that wire gets split, it goes into the port on the BVS2 connector, and then you have your fixture wire, and that's the end. So on any fixtures that are in line, you're going to have 3 connections because you got to go in, out, and your fixture wire. And on the last fixture of the line, it's going to go in and basically just have your fixture wire, and you're going to have 2 of those at every light, no matter if it's your last fixture or if it's a fixture that's in line. And then lastly, I'll just show you a close-up of what it looks like when you tee into a line. So say you've got a light here, you've got a light here, you've left some extra slack because you've watched all our videos, and we say always leave extra slack here so that you can tee in or add on down the road if you have to. Well, this is how this is going to look. So you've got your fixture and you've got your 12-2 cable coming, and you need to tee it in. So you've got it coming into your DBRY connector, and you've got it going out, and then you've got another wire that's going to go to wherever that T is that you want that wire to run. And then the other half of that 12-2 wire, same thing. It's going to go into that connection. It's going to come out to your next fixture, and then you're going to have that extra wire that you just put in to T. And again, the reason we use these is just it's a larger hole, and it allows us to get 3 of those 12-2 cables in there. So stay tuned after this. I'll show you how you actually wire this physically, not just a wiring diagram, but so many of you guys have asked for the wiring diagram, so I wanted to show you it. I hope it helps. If you've got any questions, as always, shoot me an email, and I'm more than happy to help. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit more again about wiring. It is a question I get asked all the time, and like I've said in a lot of my videos, and if you want more detail on how to wire your lights, go to YouTube, search Lighting Doctor wiring diagram. There's a great video with some really good close-ups and explanations and stuff. But I'm just gonna show you a little bit more of a connector that I like using, these DBRY connectors, again, because like I say, with any connector you use, and I don't care what it is or what make or what brand, but it needs to have some waterproofing with some kind of gel-filled tube or something like that, and some kind of good mechanical connection that will keep the wires from pulling apart. That's why I like these. But you know, what I'm gonna show you here is what we call daisy chaining, because I always get asked, well, can I daisy chain, or do I got a hub method? And it's probably because you've watched a lot of videos that talked about halogen lighting, where you really had to be careful with voltage drop and all that kind of stuff. If you're using a good LED system, you're really not going to have to worry too much about that. So I usually tell people you can just go ahead and daisy chain. All that means is just wire your lights in sequence for whatever is the easiest possible for you. But then if you have one light or two lights or three lights off in the distance and you need to kind of tee a line out, you can do that too, and you don't really have to worry about voltage drop if you're using an LED system. So that's an example of kind of what we're going to do here. I've got my wire coming in from my last fixture, and then I've got my wires, my 12-2 wires going out to my next fixture, and then I need to run another line out to 3-4 lights out there. That's where I'm going to use these guys here. So how I do that is basically I take one wire from my last fixture coming in, and I take one of the 12-2 wires coming or going out to the next fixture. I'm going to put those together, and then I'm going to take my third wire that's going out to my other fixture. Again, there's going to be two wires there, so I'm going to take one of those, I'm going to tie that in there, and actually I'm going to cheat a little bit on this one because I've actually got another wire that I'm going to fit in there, and that's the beauty of these guys. Because they're bigger connectors, I can sometimes even put 4 wires in there, so I'm not only teeing off, I'm also doing it at a fixture. So I'm wiring a fixture in at the same time that I'm teeing off, because these are big enough to do that. And anytime you go to tee off, I always recommend trying to do it at a fixture or some kind of junction point, so that if there's ever an issue and those 3 lights aren't working and everything else is, I get a pretty good idea that this is going to be where my issue is, and I know where to find that connection, so I can go dig that up and check that out. So anyway, you basically screw that moret onto all those wires that we just put together. You slide them into the tube, push it all the way in so it gets all that gel, and then you just pull the wires apart, snap down the bottom of the tube so you hear that snap, and then it's good to go. And then you're going to do that with the other set of wires you have, your wire coming in, your 12 gauge wire coming in, your 12 gauge wire coming or going out, and then you've got your other wires. Again, same thing, 2 connections, wrap all those up, put on your moret, get that nice and tight, slide it into your waterproof gel-filled tube, and then just pull those wires together, snap down the bottom, and there you go. And I promise you, these wires are not coming apart. That's again why I like these. Waterproof, mechanical connection, they're not going to pull apart. Any wiring connections you use, that's what you got to do. This is how you tee off a line if you need to do that. Daisy chain if you can. Make your life as easy as possible. Install LED, stay away from halogen. It just doesn't make sense anymore, and it will make your life a lot easier. Hey guys, so I'm going to try and show you a little wiring tip here, because this is a question I get all the time. And guys will hook up all their lights, and they get to the light and everything's working, and they hook up their last light, and all of a sudden it's not working. And it's typically because that last fixture on the line seems to tends to give people some confusion. I can't even say it. So we're getting poured on here, but I'm going to show you the last fixture on the line here and how we're going to go and wire that. And if you want a better definition and diagram, go to YouTube, search Lighting Doctor wiring diagram, and I give you a really, really thorough example of this. But so I've got my last fixture right here, and I've got my 2 wires that come off of that fixture, right? And then I've got my 12-2 wire that is coming to the last fixture. So I don't have another wire going to another one. This is it. This is the end. So what most people do is they just end up using one connector and putting all the wires in, and then it shorts everything. So, but that's not how you do it. Even on this last fixture, you still need 2 of your connectors. So what you're going to do, again, you're going to have your 12-2 wire, and you're going to split that, and you're going to take one of those wires and you're going to throw it in the big port on your BVS2 connectors, and then you're going to take one wire from your actual fixture and you're going to put it in one of the small ports on that same connector. So you're going to have, on the last fixture, you're going to have 1 extra hole for wire. You don't need to use that. You've only got 2 wires coming in. And then you need to do that one more time, because you still have another wire to from your fixture, and you still have another wire, another 12-2 wire coming in. So same thing. You're going to throw that 12-2 wire in the big port, and you are going to throw that small wire in the smaller port from your fixture, and then still at that last light you still have the 2 connections. The only difference with this and one in line is that extra hole is going to have the 12-2 wire that goes out to your next light on both of these, right? Because this is our last fixture, you have that hole empty. So I like using these BVS2 snap lock connectors. I also like using these DBRY connectors, which I talked a lot about, which same idea, except the only difference is the wires just screw into this moret, and this moret slides into this waterproofing tube. So it doesn't matter what you use, the big 2 things to keep in mind is, one, some type of waterproofing. It's got to be gel filled of some sort. Those connectors that you buy at Home Depot, places like that, that pierce the wire, stay away from those. If they have those connectors built right onto the fixture and you still want to use that fixture, cut them off and use a proper one that's got some kind of sealant in it to make that a waterproof connection, or I promise you, you'll be digging up that connection. And the other thing is something that has a mechanical connection. So what that means is something that will hold the wires from being pulled apart. These ones I like because they snap tight, and once the wires are in there, they don't come out. Same with these. Once you got the wires in there in these big gel-filled tubes, and you snap this shut, you're not pulling the wires out of that. So some people will just use those gel-filled morets, which is fine. They have that waterproofing, but then you got to wrap them with tape or zip tie the wires together. Do something so you can't pull those wires together, or again, I promise you, you're going to be digging up down the road. So there's all kinds of other wire connectors that are out there, but they need those 2 components: waterproofing and that mechanical connection to keep those wires from coming apart. So hope that helps, and we'll move on to the next step. Hey guys, just one more quick tip here. So we ran all our wire to all our lights, but something I always talk about is leaving lots of extra wire. Even though I think this is where we're going to have this light tonight, when I come back at night, we might want to move it 2-3 feet that way, or 4 feet this way, or whatever. I've got 10 feet of extra wire around this, and that's standard what comes on this fixture, so you don't need that much, but even 2-3 extra feet of wire so that you have a little bit of play. And then also, if later down the road, because this is our last light on the line, say we wanted to add some more lights down the road there, well, I have a whole bunch of extra wire that I can tap into, and I can keep my run going, assuming I have the right transformer and all that kind of stuff, which I'll talk about in a bit. But extra wire, extra wire, extra wire. It doesn't cost that much in relation to how much of a headache it's going to be if you don't leave it. So leave extra wire at every fixture, and even some spots along the way is going to save you a whole bunch of headaches if you ever have any ambitions of expanding. Hey guys, it's Cal with the Lighting Doctor. I hope you guys enjoyed all our do-it-yourself landscape lighting videos on YouTube and have taken advantage of our try it before you buy it kit. Another thing that we offer to help make your landscape lighting project as easy and straightforward as possible is our free landscape lighting consultations, where you can actually send me directly pictures of your property at cal@lightingdoctor.ca, and I'm going to review those and give you a video presentation of the best kind of lights to use, the best positioning, and the best way to go about your project to make it as easy and simple as possible for you. So to get your free consultation video, just email me at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and I'll get back to you with your own video presentation. In the meantime, go and check out a bunch more of our videos on YouTube and our resource page at lightingdoctor.ca, and I look forward to all your guys' comments and questions. Thanks for watching.